This Hangout on Air is live. We are live and direct. It is December 6th, and it's time to mute my phone. Happy holidays, everybody. Steve has decorated for me back here. We got bows and Christmas trees and all in the holiday spirit. I'm excited to have you guys here. We got a small but lively crowd here at the very beginning. I'm sure some people are going to sneak in under the wire. We have Kevin and Dan and Donald Burr testing the latest version of the app on his iPhone, which I hope will someday come out. And poor Rose, who is working on a PC. It's a horrible thing. And we've got Sandy in here. And let's see. We had a guy named Ralph, but he seems to have disappeared. Did I say Dan? Yeah. So we got everybody, the usual suspects here. So I did a tweet today, Steve. I love the internet because within a 24-hour period, I got a guy to tickle his son in Virginia and a guy in New Zealand to help me with a problem in the terminal in a 24-hour period. How's that for fun?
I wonder who that guy in Virginia was. Was he big by any chance?
Or that guy in New Zealand, right?
Right. Or that guy in New Zealand.
Okay. All right. Kevin's going to sneak out. Okay. I'm going to take a sip of my Ballast Point. What am I drinking? A Longfin, Steve?
Yes, a Longfin, dear.
All right. Richard, AK, did we decide that was Alaska?
Yep.
Richard in Alaska has joined us too. Nice to see you. Ralph in Pennsylvania. He came and he left. All right. So we are going to get started here. Let's do a test recording here.
We have a special appearance by Donald Burr App Phone.
Yeah, I talked to him for a second there. It looks like he's testing the app. What he says is going to be the latest version. We'll see. I don't know. He's been teasing me for so long. I'm not sure I believe him that it's ever coming out, but we'll see. All right, let me do a test recording here. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast hosted at podfeet.com. John loved the tickle, I bet. I'm sure he thought that was really, really weird. Some weirdo lady in California wants him to be tickled. That was hilarious. I simply texted Kevin and said, hey, grab your nearest child and tickle them for me right now. It wasn't weird at all. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan. Yeah, that did work. Okay, so in theory, if I get a gap about that big, I'm going to try to see if I can nail this. Move your camera down a smidge. I assume that's what he means. So my theory will be if it looks like the top of my head's cut off, too much, Steve says. All right. That's what we're going to do. What brought up this desire for tickling? I don't know. I just wanted to see if I could get Kevin to do it. I think that should be a thing now on Twitter. You just tell somebody to tickle somebody else. I think it'd be great. There should be more tickling. All right. I'm going to say start right there. Let's see what happens if I do this. Oh, just thought of something else. Safari. Daily Tech News Show. Yeah, I forgot to tweet. I forgot to text out or put in the blog, whatever. I forgot to say, let's see, which iCloud, Apple gets Swifty. It wasn't that. Adobe, that's right. Hang on, let me grab this link here and just stick it in. I'll say something. Let's see. All right, that'll get me enough. It's on December 1st, Tuesday. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. All right, let me do a preview there, and now we'll quit this. Fix that later, hopefully. All right, where did I think I was going to start? I'm going to try to start like right there, if this works. All right, here we go. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Macintosh bias. Today is Sunday, December 6, 2015, and this is show number 552. Well, before we kick into the show, Bart and I did a chit chat across the pond this week, and it was not a traditional episode. Instead of programming by stealth or terminal taming, Bart ponders the mystery of the Christmas star. He walks us through what we know about history from that time and what we know from the Bible, and then he searches what we know about the cosmos to see if we can identify the actual star, and he puts star in quotes on that. Remember, you do have to subscribe to Chit Chat Across the Pond separately. Just search your favorite podcaster for that term and you should be able to get hooked up. It's a really fun show, and if you want to get super geeky, there's a software download and some scripts to download with it too. Only Bart would be able to have scripts and searching for the Christmas star in the same episode. Also, this week on Tuesday, December 1st, I was on the Daily Tech News Show again. If you want to check it out, I put a link in the show notes. It's episode 2636, and it is entitled, Honey, What's This Letter from the City? All right, let's see how not bad. Oh, I had it at I had it at the wrong spot, but that's okay. All right, we are going to always check the beginning at the beginning because it's easier. Let's see how this sounds. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Macintosh bias. Today is Sunday, December 6, 2015, and this is show number 552. Well, that's not bad. Chord was a little bit early, but that's good enough. Okay, I think maybe I'm getting the hang of this. Whoops. Nope. Okay, let's see. I'm going to go to there, and I'm going to go right here. You know, sometimes it shows me the little red line thing, and sometimes it does not. And I don't know. There we go. Okay. But I want to go there. There should be a red line, and it doesn't always show. Save. All right. Let's see. We're going to do the iPad Pro. Where was it? There we go. All right. The first week the iPad Pro came out, I spoke about it on so many other podcasts, I decided not to talk about it on the NosillaCast. Now that it's been a few weeks and I've had a chance to really use it as my main iPad, I thought I'd give you my impressions from a less gushy, more balanced standpoint. Still, of course, with an ever so slight Macintosh bias, but you know what I mean. It's important when you read or listen to an opinion on a device to understand which device the person was using before they got the new hotness, as I believe that is the most significant thing that influences our opinion. Before buying the iPad Pro, I had an iPad Air 1, which has the lovely Retina display and the smaller bezel, and it's not terribly heavy, and it has an A7 processor, which is really quite snappy. I considered buying the iPad Air 2 because I really wanted that Touch ID, but the cost then to move up so soon for just that one feature was more than I could logically justify. So I've got a 9.7-inch iPad, and I moved to the 12.9-inch iPad Pro. Now, if you did not take your high school geometry class as seriously as I did, you might think the iPad Pro screen was around 30% bigger, the ratio of 12.9 to 9.7. But since I love geometry, I sat down and I did the ciphering to compare the two. We know their diagonal dimensions, and we know that they all have a 4:3 aspect ratio, so I was able to calculate their areas by solving two simultaneous equations. Turns out a 12.9-inch screen has 77% more screen area than a 9.7-inch screen. 77% more. That's huge. Let's make this even more real. The iPad Pro screen is actually bigger than the screens of an iPad Air and an iPad Mini combined. The iPad Pro screen is 80 inches square. The iPad Air is 45 inches square, and the iPad Mini is 30 inches square. So 80 square inches versus 75 square inches. And yes, I showed my work in a diagram in the show notes. I guess I took just a whole paragraph to tell you that the iPad Pro is big. Seriously, it's huge. After exclaiming about how huge it is, the next thing people notice when I hand it over to them is how light it is. Of course, it isn't actually light. At 1.57 pounds, it's 50% heavier than an iPad Air, but since it's so much bigger in screen size, it seems light. You definitely wouldn't want to hold this with one hand while reading for any length of time, or hold it above your head while reading and going to sleep, but it is thin. The iPad Air 1 that I have is 0.29 inches thick. The iPad Pro is actually a smidge thinner at 0.27 inches. The iPad Air 2 was thinner yet at 0.24 inches, but I think we can safely say that they're all incredibly thin. Apple has made an odd decision on the formatting of the home screen. Instead of packing in more icons, they're really just really far apart on screen. Imagine a screen more than 10 inches wide with 5 icons across it. Dennis Muncie pointed out on Twitter that the distance between the icons is bigger than the pixel width of the original iPhone display. So there are 324 pixels between icons on the iPad Pro, and the original iPhone screen was 320 pixels wide. How funny is that? Well, all this screening real estate is swell, only if we can do interesting things with it, right? Apple introduced slide over and split screen with iOS 9 that only the iPad Air 2, and the iPad Pro could use. I've not been a big fan of split screen on the Mac, as you know, and I don't often slide notifications in from the right, so I was dubious whether these features would bring me any real value. Within hours of setting up the iPad Pro with my essential apps, I was in love with slide over. Here's a perfect use case for it. You've opened up an app on the giant screen and it asks you for your password. Instead of hitting the home button, opening LastPass or 1Password, getting the password, and then reopening or swiping to get back to the app you were using, you can simply use slide over. So you slide your finger from the right edge of the screen, and you often see your password manager immediately because you end up using it so often. It appears that they put these in order of the last thing you used or the thing you use most frequently. So when I was first using it, I was setting up a lot of passwords, and it was right there as the very first thing I got there. Once you have your password, you swipe back to the right and paste it into the app. Now, that doesn't sound that much easier when I describe it, but it's actually much better from a mental standpoint. Leaving the app and coming back really disrupts your flow of thinking and kind of often causes you to just go off and do something else. But slide it over is kind of like grabbing a piece of paper and setting it back down. It is not nearly as disruptive. Now, what if it wasn't 1Password you wanted, but your favorite chat app, which of course is Telegram? At the top of the slide over window, there's a downward chevron. Pull down on that and you get a scrolling window of available apps in slide over. Like I said, it seems to be aware of what you've been using most recently because I very often find Telegram, Mail, and 1Password in there in the scrolling view. But I'm kind of worried how this is going to work when you get a lot of apps available. I guess if it's pretty smart about keeping them in order that you use them, maybe it won't be too bad. I don't often truly use multitasking by using the split screen view, but when I do, it works really well. To get to split screen, you use the same slide over gestures to find your second app, and then there will be a little handle in the division between the two apps. Slide the handle to the left, and you can resize the two windows to make them just the way you want them. Another cool feature is that you can hit the home button and launch a new app, and it automatically takes the place of the first app on the left. I really like the way that works. I say that I don't use it too often because some apps support slide over, but don't support split screen. The way you can tell is if you slide an app over, but there's no handle. Now, I know I complained a lot about inconsistency on the Mac, but at least I have an indication immediately that just shows, yeah, you can't do split screen with that. Now, I doodle on my iPad in the mornings, checking out Facebook, Twitter, or using Tweetbot and Google+, but of the three, only Tweetbot supports that split screen. Let's talk about apps that aren't working well on the iPad Pro now that we've brought up the subject. Google Plus just came out with a brand spanking new interface that if the NosillaCast Google Plus community is any kind of representative sample, this interface is a dumpster fire. I don't want to dilute this conversation, but I haven't found anything to like about it yet. Most apps on the iPad Pro support a new keyboard that is delightful. It's truly a full-size keyboard. It has the numbers across the top, gives you dedicated access to everything you would expect on a real keyboard. Unfortunately, even though Google is offering us this brand spanking new interface, they did not call the right keyboard. So instead, you get the one for the smaller iPads, just expanded to be giant on screen. And I'm not kidding when I say giant. It's so ridiculous. It takes up, I think, more than 50% of the screen. And it's really, really hard to type on because the keys are so far apart. Facebook uses the old screen keyboard too. I actually moved both Facebook and Google Plus apps to the last page of my home screen, and I put web apps on my home screen for them anyway, because in the browser, they get the right keyboard. So now I'm able to bring those up, and I can use split screen with both of those. Now, before I go too far complaining about Facebook and Google Plus using the stupid big fat keyboard instead of the new one, would you believe the Apple Store app on the iPad Pro uses the old stupid one? Really, just come on, Apple. Seriously? Well, one of my favorite party tricks to show people is picture-in-picture with videos. I have the person open the videos app first, and I tell them to open the movie Up from Pixar. I choose this because of the brilliant contrasting colors of an animated movie really show off how great the iPad Pro is for watching movies. After they say wow, and they always say wow because it's huge, right? It's this beautiful screen, and then they hear the really really good speakers on the iPad Pro. I show them the button to shrink the movie into a floating window, and then I have them launch another app and have fun moving the window around with their finger. You can even expand and contract the little floating window just with pinch to zoom. Now, I call this a party trick because it gets the amazement factor, but I absolutely never, ever use this feature. On the Mac Roundtable, when we first heard about this, I said I thought it sounded useless, and Bart said he thought it would be wonderful. And I'm betting he does like it, but I don't use it at all, just like I expected. I simply cannot watch a movie while I'm doing something else. Heck, I can't even listen to audio while I'm doing something else, much less watch something else. I should mention that one of my major use cases for the iPad Pro is to watch video podcasts. For that, it is absolutely fantastic. It's basically a bigger TV, right? We just carry our TV around the house to watch our shows. Now, I don't have the keyboard for the iPad Pro yet because I'm holding out for the Apple keyboard. I have zero interest in a keyboard that makes the devices heavy or heavier than my MacBook, so the Logitech keyboard everybody's been talking about seems completely silly to me. I'm guessing / hoping that since I love the MacBook keyboard and I love the new Magic keyboard from Apple, the short throw of the iPad Pro keyboard will be good enough for me. We'll see if I find myself doing more productive things with that when it arrives. I talked a bit about the iPad Pro Pencil before, and it is really cool, and I am using it from time to time. Not a lot, but it definitely is a very, very cool tool. The bottom line is that I've had the iPad Pro for a couple of weeks, and I haven't once used my iPad Air. I open it from time to time, and I giggle at how positively diminutive it is. I thought maybe I'd use it at the gym since the iPad Pro is surely too big to tote around and put over the display on the elliptical machine I use. But I simply bought a bigger purse at the local outdoor store, REI, and now I take it everywhere with me. I can't say that you need the iPad Pro, but it absolutely fits my needs. Whew.
Okay, since you can't see this one.
Oh, he's moving.
I'm putting it here.
Thank you for, wait, where are you putting it? Oh, that looks better there.
And you gotta rotate. All right.
That was a 10. And thank you for taking Ada out. That was good timing. Did you guys?
I really wanted to do some programming.
Yeah, she was. I almost giggled. Sybil's here. Slide over works nicely on picnic benches. Okay, I got to see if anybody. Wow, I was gone a long time, wasn't I? Where'd it go? Oh man, you guys have been chatty. Good grief. Is that all today? No, some of that's old stuff. There we go. All right. So did you guys enjoy the kitten there? No crashes, no scrolling. Ship it, Donald. Ship it already. Ship it. I was watching Carrie Fisher on GMA. Oh my gosh. Did you guys see the Carrie Fisher interview? If you guys have not seen it, it was on ABC, I think. Good Morning America, maybe. It was absolutely hysterical. She won the internet this week, that's for sure. Hi, Spaceman. Haven't seen you here. Have you been here before?
Spaceman is actually John.
Oh, that's John?
He's just on a different computer.
Oh, that's nice. I like it. Hi, John. Well, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, Kevin, it's funny. You say the new MacBook keyboard would take a lot of getting used to. That's kind of what I thought at first. And I'm in love. I got no doubt. Once I went to that though, I couldn't stand the my Apple keyboard on my MacBook Pro. I don't like it at all anymore. So now that's interesting. All right, let me check this audio connection here. Hey, what's this letter from the city? Yeah, the first week, that a little bit long. Rid of that. Let's see if I wrecked that. Honey, what's this letter from the city? The first week, the iPad. That's a little too quick. Let me try this. See how. Now it's pulling together just fine. Remember last week I couldn't pull them together? I can pull them together just fine. What's this letter from the city? The first week the iPad. There we go. Still popping my peas. I'm trying really hard not to talk right into the mic to get rid of that. iPad Pro. It's hard. The first week the iPad Pro came out, I spoke about it on. Tell me if you hear me doing that, Steve. All right, so now we're going to go to right here. Sure would be nice to have some visual feedback on this. Okay, on where I'm recording, but all right, what do I want? Okay, that was the iPad Pro. What's next? Oh, taking charge of my life. Did you guys already see my is this a good one? Here we go. Donald said, ship it. Yeah, see, ship it. Oh, you had your old nickname. That's what it was doing. Okay. Oh, NASA Nut changed his name. Good. Whew. That was tough. All right, here we go. When I was a young adult, the only rechargeable battery I owned was the one that helps to start my car. We had newfangled wired push-button phones, but they didn't need batteries because they ran off the electricity that came over the phone line. To organize my life, I carried an 8.5 by 11-inch Franklin planner that I absolutely adored. It was about 2 inches thick and weighed a lot, but it was awesome. It had my calendar, my contacts, and it was a great place to take notes, too. I was always fond of pencils from the company Pilot because they wrote so smoothly on the paper in my Franklin planner. Nothing was better than the beginning of the calendar year when we would get the new pages all fresh and clean and ready to help me be productive. I remember my friend Diana and I would sit down in our office and go, ooh, the new paper. It was very exciting. I had an SLR camera, the wonderful Minolta X700. It had these tiny little A76 batteries, but it ran for years on that one single battery. Same thing with my HP11C calculator that I still use. It took 3 A76 batteries that lasted for ages and ages. Well, all of that has changed. Now, a significant portion of my day is dedicated to charging all my devices. Every single day, I go through a ritual of charging my devices. My iPhone goes in a dock on my desk. My 12-inch MacBook charges next to my desk. My 15-inch MacBook Pro charges through my Apple Cinema display. My Apple Watch charges on a stand beside my bed. My desk is completely out of space and the bedside table is too small, so the iPad Pro has to charge in the bathroom. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I have to charge my pencil using a female-to-female adapter to a lightning cable on my desk. My Bluetooth headphones get charged at the charging station in the kitchen. We got this really cool charging station from George from Tulsa that everything plugs into. My keyboard and trackpad get charged, alternating one after the other with the same cable on my desk that the pencil uses. My Olympus camera takes rechargeable batteries, of course, so I have a proprietary charger that also has to live in the bathroom. For the live show, Steve bought me an LED light panel for better lighting, and he cycles in 6 AA rechargeable batteries for it that he charges in his den on a special charger. If you're looking at this video right now, you'll notice I am not lit up from the right because I forgot to turn it off, and so those batteries happen to be dead while I'm telling you this story. My dental hygienist suggested it'd be good for my teeth if I used an electric toothbrush, so I had to get one that had an inductive battery charger. We got a new electric knife last year for cutting up the turkey, but it's rechargeable, so Steve had to put a reminder in his calendar to pull it out and charge it a few days before Thanksgiving because this year it was dead when we got it out. Now, let's not forget about the portable chargers, right? I have a little one in my purse and 2 big ones for travel, and they all have to get charged in the bathroom, taking turns with the other devices. So now my phone, my pencil, my calendar, my phone book, my toothbrush, my knife, and my watch all have to be charged. Don't you think the 25-year-old me would find that hilarious if I went back to tell her? I think the only thing left in my life that doesn't require a charger is my glasses. All I can say is good thing Google Glass never took off. So I just figured out why somebody made a joke. I said, nobody caught this in the blog, Steve. You might want to go fix this one. What the show notes actually say, the blog post says, is we got a new electric knife last year for charging the turkey. And somebody said charging the turkey, and I was like, no, that's not what I said. But
is that in the blog?
Yeah, it's in the blog. So
okay,
it's
I'll check it out.
Second to last bullet point on the one called "Taking Charge of My Life." Luckily, I noticed it as I was talking.
Do you want me to change it?
Yeah, that'd be fine. Well, unless it's it's good comedy. Let's listen to that. Changeover point absolutely fits my needs. When I was a young adult, Steve said a long time ago he thinks I should have a little noise between my stories. What do you guys think of that? I just wonder if I should have done that. Okay, 550. So we're at. Okay, iPad Pro, cute address labels. Let's talk about cute address labels now. Okay, guys. Should be able to do this right here. I shouldn't have to open that. That's good. I'll do that way. That'll be better. Okay. Charge my turkey with Amex. Nice. Ooh. Hi, Alpha Geek Radio. Steve says we're at an all-time high on Alpha Geek Radio. I haven't said hi to you guys in a while. Hello, Alpha Geek Radio. Kevin says make that little elephant sound in between. You guys have heard me say that or do that? I'll go. That one?
Well, that just cleared the room of the cats.
Did it really? The cats reacted to that, Steve just said. Uh-oh, Sandy's got the hiccups. So I actually, no, don't just hold your breath. Sandy?
No. Wait, Al. She doesn't have the hiccups.
Oh.
She said major hiccups at my end. She was referring
talking about the internet?
Yes. And we just kind of ran with it. Now everyone
I have a solution that has never ever failed. You take a deep breath, and then you kind of throw yourself upside down, like halfway, bend at the waist, throw yourself down. You breathe all the air out, just breathe it all the way out. And then this is the trick. Lindsay taught me this one. You drink out of the wrong side of the glass. So instead of sipping out of the front, you have to turn your head upside down and drink out of the other side. I don't know what it is, but something about this confuses your whole system, and I have never had it fail. It has worked every single time. So that is my solution. All right, where are we? We're gonna start recording right here. There you go. All right, bye, John. Come back soon. Okay, here we go. Some of my most popular tutorials over the years on podfeed.com have been the ones explaining how to make address labels during the holidays. Years ago, it involved using Excel to organize the labels, exporting them to a CSV file, and then using Word to do a mail merge to make the labels. I remember my friend Diana and me spending hours getting this to work each year. A few years ago, though, Apple simplified everything by making it possible to print labels right from the Contacts application. I created a tutorial that for a few years, nope, screwed it all up. Stop. Dead. Start over. Oh, there it is. Now I've got the red line. Huh. All right, here we go. I want to record with a keystroke. I thought there was Command R.
What does the red line indicate?
The red line is the insertion point. The blue line is the playhead, and those are two different things, and that's where I get confused. But I can make the red, no, there's the red line. I can make the red line unless I'm off the track. Yeah, I don't know. And then I want Command R or something to be record, but I don't think it is. Yes, it is. Look at that. Cancel recording. Okay. Go right there. Okay, here we go. Some of my most popular tutorials over the years on podfeet.com have been the ones explaining how to make address labels during the holidays. Years ago, it involved using Excel to organize the labels. Then I had to export them to a CSV file, and then I had to use Word to do a mail merge to make the labels. I remember my friend Diane and me spending hours getting this to work every year. Steve, is it my friend Diane and me or my friend Diane and I spending hours? I remember my friend Diane and me spending hours getting this to work each year.
Me, because you are the subject and me and Diane are the objects.
Oh, I already have I in there. Good.
Right.
Bye, Kevin. All right. I didn't want to be grammatically incorrect and have Steve correct me later. It's not pretty when he corrects me. So, all right, here we go. Third time's a charm. Don't flatline the red line. Civil is sour people, Steve. Here we go. Some of my most popular tutorials over the years on podfeet.com have been the ones explaining how to make address labels during the holidays. Years ago, it involved using Excel to organize the labels. Then I had to export them to a CSV file. Then I had to use Word to do a mail merge to make the labels. I remember my friend Diane and me spending hours getting this to work every year. A few years ago, though, Apple simplified everything by making it possible to print labels right from the Contacts application. I created a tutorial for that a few years back, and I reference it every year. I get great feedback on how I explain all of the steps you're going to do wrong, how to back out of them, and then do it right. I did it this way because every time I run through this procedure, I do certain steps the wrong way, and I have to back out and do it right. For example, you can create a group in Contacts called Holiday Cards, and then select Print. Choose your label type, and there will be only one label on the page. That's because you have to select all in the group before you ask it to print. But I forget that every single time. Well, this year I'm excited to add an improvement to my label making instructions. When you set up your labels to print, you can change the font and font size, but Apple will override that font size if a line is particularly long and would run off of the sticker. That's great, but if you've got a couple with different last names that are a bit long, you're going to end up with like a 3-point font. Last night, I figured out how to add a line feed in the name fields. I had to experiment for about a half hour till I found the combination, but it turns out if you use Control-Shift-Enter, you can add a line feed within a name field. Now, instead of one long line for two names, I can spread it across two lines. I would suggest that if you need to do this, you make a separate V-card for the couple just for mailing purposes, because it turns out for some reason it confuses the heck out of Apple Mail. I tried to send an email to a friend of mine with the line feed in her title, and it wouldn't send. I mean, the line feed in her name, and the mail simply would not send. When I canceled the send, it had erased her email address, and this failure was completely repeatable. It's kind of a pain, but I had to separate my friends' contacts so I can tell their phone numbers apart anyway, so I guess it isn't that much trouble. I think I'll keep their address in the combined contacts and everything else in their individual contacts. I put a link in the blog post to the new and improved tutorial on making labels, made, of course, with my beloved Clarify. And don't forget to check out my easier tutorial, the one on how to create custom-made return address labels with cute little, you can have a Christmas tree in there and everything. It's not obvious how to do that. It's very easy to follow, but Apple does not make it intuitive on how to do it. So go check out both of those tutorials in the show notes. Did Mark show up?
Yeah, he's been here a while. Although I'm not sure he's actually here. I think he logged in and left.
He's not answering, huh? All I can say is good thing Google Glass never took off. Some of my most popular... Okay, I think I'm getting better at this, Steve. Don't jinx it, Allison. All right, here we go. All right, what do we got next? Man, I've made too much content this week. Oh, my Apple Watch troubleshooting guide. You guys are going to like this one. Yeah. All right. Okay, here we go. As I mentioned in my post entitled Taking Charge of My Life, wait, that's not the way I should say it. It's not a post now. As I mentioned when I was talking about taking charge of my life with all my darn chargers, at any given moment in time, one of my devices requires a recharge. Many people make it through an entire day with an overnight charge of their Apple Watch, but I do not. Near as I've been able to figure, the best way to burn through your Apple Watch battery is to turn on the exercise tracking app. Since I work out twice a day, which, by the way, for anybody who thinks I'm an exercise maniac, it's also that I can compensate for how much I want to eat and drink. So don't think I'm like a health freak or anything. Anyway, because I work out twice a day, I usually run the exercise app for about 2 hours total. It's not uncommon for my battery to die before bedtime on my Apple Watch. The other night, it died really early at about 8 p.m., which was unusual even for me. Normally, when you set it on the charger, it shows you a little circle filled in with how much battery you have left. But mine was so dead, all I got was the little battery indicator that's red that you see when you're in low power mode. It shows that red lightning bolt and the time, and that's it. When I woke in the morning, I was dismayed to find that my Apple Watch was unresponsive. I couldn't tell if it had charged because nothing came up on screen. I thought it would be helpful to the audience to go through the troubleshooting steps I followed to get it running again. First, tap the screen repeatedly as though hitting it again will make a difference. Next, try to remember which of the buttons you're supposed to hit to shut the device down. Is it the digital crown or the side button or both? What are you supposed to do? Next, search the internets looking for guidance. Eventually find your way to Apple's support article on how to restart your Apple Watch. Then you should try their first step, which is to hold the side button until you see the power off slide bar. This will fail to have an effect, so go on to step 2. Force restart your Apple Watch by holding down both the side button and the digital crown for at least 10 seconds and wait to see the Apple logo. This step will also fail. Next, schedule a Genius Bar appointment if you're lucky enough to have an Apple store near you. After that, you should probably tweet out your angst on this issue. Stew for a bit and then remember that you have 2 new kittens in the house who have, on more than one occasion, unplugged devices in your house. You might discover that they have indeed unplugged your Apple Watch charger from the power strip. You can now sigh with relief and put your Apple Watch back on the charger for a while. With high anticipation, you should pull your Apple Watch off the charger only to discover that it is still not charged. Again, tweet out your angst about this issue. Realize that you named your kittens after female computer programmers, so it's your own darn fault that the kinds of things they do around the house. You should now check to see that if, in addition to unplugging your charger, they have also turned off your power strip. Turn the power strip back on and charge your Apple Watch successfully and tweet out your delight. Don't forget, cancel your Genius Bar appointment. All right. I think that's it. And it's time to drop in. Oh, nope. It's time to spam the audience. Has anybody forgotten to use their the Amazon affiliate link? Everybody using it? No, I'm not going to torture you guys. You guys do whatever you want. You're not using it. Well, that's good. You use the SMR one, right?
Yeah, can't use yours.
All right, here we go. I know you're still shopping for the holidays, right? Oh, I sure am. Here's how you can get her done and help the NosillaCast at the same time. You think of something you want to buy, like say that really nice Rubbermaid bucket your wife has been wanting, or the potpourri your husband really liked at your friend Sally's house. Now, instead of going to Amazon.com, go to podfeet.com. I mean, it's probably your homepage anyway, but I like to say that. And then all you got to do is click on that Amazon image in the upper left. Now search for the bucket and the potpourri on Amazon, and anything else you buy in that session will also send a small percentage to help the show and will not cost you a penny more. I really appreciate all the help, and I wish I could do my own purchases this way, but since I can't, I do it through the SMR podcast affiliate link. I hope you will try to help the show. Oh, Kevin's not here. Well, your Genius Bar appointment. I know you're still shopping for the holiday. That's a little long. Wait, we got canceled? What got canceled? Did a NASA thing get canceled? What happened? Nothing at NASA should be canceled. All right, security light. Where's security light music, do you think? Maybe it's in GarageBand jingles. Where? There. GarageBand jingles. Security light. That's yeah, that's this one. All right. Okay, let's drop you in. Where are we? Yeah, I don't need the intro anymore. That's right there. Right about there. And then we'll add a track for... Wait, why did you put that on that track? That's not where that belongs. That belongs here. That's where that belongs. Don't need the outro yet, and this is going to be security light. Oh, your volunteer work. Uh-oh, something else got canceled. Oh. Oh, okay. It was a good thing. Okay, thank you. That's good. Okay. We don't want to hear about any, or I mean, we don't want there to be any cancellations at NASA, that's for sure. All right, now security light is, where do you think I put it? I think I put it here, which it should go here, securitylight.aff, IEIFF. I don't like the order of that though. I'm going to put it right there. And then I'm going to switch the tracks. I was going to show you guys something fun. What was it? What was it? What was it? It was something fun. Oh, yeah. I was hoping to tell you guys the story this week, but okay, I didn't mean to do that. Did I do that right? Oh, that's strange. What was I talking about? Oh, I was hoping to tell you the story of Hank's History Hour and the hacking that happened, but it's going to have to happen next week. But go here. I want you guys to see this site. I just put it in the show notes. Hank's History Hour, hankshistoryhour.com. It's really cool. I just finished it. It's an old piece. It's old content, but it is an all new site, and you're going to get to hear the story of how Hank's History Hour got hacked next week. And it's oh yeah, I forgot you guys can't hear me when I'm saying this. Thank you, Steve. But it's a pretty cool site. If you know any juniors in high school taking AP European history, make a bookmark of that bad boy and make sure you tell them about it because it's way cool. Let me listen to these conversions here. Affiliate link. I hope you will try to help the show. I love that music. Okay, well, that track would be better if... Oh, I did screw it up. Okay, that's all right. That's not a problem. We can fix that. We are going to do that. I'm going to go security light. I'm still trying to figure out how to... I don't know very much about copying and pasting tracks. I don't want it there. I want it here. I don't want it here. And I want it, it's low. I want that. I don't want it down low, that's for sure. Well, that intro music means it is time for Security Light with... Oh, that was pretty tricky. I said that intro music, and I didn't know there was intro music yet. There we go. That's what I want to do. Put it right there. How's that? There we go. That's what I wanted to do the first time. Okay, so how's that timing sound? Well, that intro music means it is time for... Okay, Security Light. What? And I don't mean that to be quiet at the end. I don't know why I got that going on. Over on that.
Okay, well, that'll be fun. And until next time, stay patched and stay secure.
All right.
Could you play that through again? The volumes didn't quite sound uniform.
At
the recording and the music sounded lower than your normal volume.
It is lower on Chit Chat. It's just lower. Well, that intro music means it is time for security. It'll come up. I mean, I can boost it if you want, but I like the noise, the sound stuff to do it better. Well, that intro music means it is time. You like that better?
Yeah.
All right, that means I gotta go find the end and move it to the same point because that's not about there. We'll go up about there. There. Okay, so here's the outro.
Well, that'll be fun. And until next time, stay patched and stay secure.
Here's the tricky part. Now I've got to click on a track that has nothing in it, and I have to drag my cursor to where I think it looks visually, but I've got no visual indicator of where it should be. Aha, the blind people. Oh, save. Dan's here. I don't know how the blind people do this because this is really hard at this point. All right. And for some reason, I've got the outro in there twice. Oh, no, I'm on the wrong track. I need to be on this track. At least it shows me that it's gray, but it's not showing me where I'm inserting at all. I go like that. I go like that. And then if I said go to, I don't like it that way. I'm doing it visually, even though I can't see what I'm doing. Here we go. All right. Well, that's going to wind us up for this week. Do not forget to send in your dumb questions, comments, and suggestions by emailing me at allison@podfeet.com. And do not forget to follow me on Twitter at podfeet. You got to go over to the Google Plus community at podfeet.com/Google Plus. Me and George were in a big knockdown, drag out fight answering someone's question about whether using a backup makes it not be a backup. We're having a good time. It's John Ornsby, I think it was, who asked the original question. And George and I are going at it, having a technical discussion. And one of the things I always think about with this community is we can argue and disagree, but it's always polite and respectful and facts and data. And so that's what makes it so fun to go in there. If you have technical questions, I'm telling you, there's smarter people in there than me. And often you can trick George from Tulsa into doing research for you, which is fantastic. If you want to join in the fun of the live show, head on over to podfeet.com/live on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic NosillaCast castaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. All right. The app isn't logging me out like it used to. Interesting. All right. Okay. Let's hear how this sounds.
Next time, stay patched and stay secure.
Well, that's going to wind us up for this week. A little long, but that sounds good. Okay, so now I need this to go to, okay, the very end is at, where am I? About 48. Okay, so now my understanding is I should be able to take the outro music. Okay, oh, good. I approve of that, Steve. Are you going to come back? Let's see, that's the outro music. I grab that and I tell it to shift.
I'll be back.
I'll be back to 48 minutes. Boom. Okay, that was an easier way to do that. Okay, so I still have to drag it around. And this is Allison. Is that where I recorded? Good, 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 good. Okay, so now I can drag this. How about right there? All right, let's hear how that sounds. But it's always polite and respectful and facts and data. And so that's what makes it so fun to go in there. If you have technical questions, I'm telling you, there's smarter people in there than me. And often you can trick George from Tulsa into doing research for you, which is fantastic. If you want to join in the fun of the live show, head on over to podfeet.com/live on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic NosillaCast castaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. Wait, that whole time I was listening and I forgot to notice that the music wasn't playing, which is why I was listening to the music. It's dumb. Here we go. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic NosillaCast castaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. There we go. Well, I think a 48-minute show is enough. Okay. All right, let's do this. Okay, I need to grab this and make sure I get rid of that. Okay. All right, good. That's done. Okay, so now we have to say sound, bounce document to new file. Just realized that was not a stereo file. Security light, it should have been. Well, never enough pod feet. Yay, Rose. Why is that stopping at 40? Doesn't look right. Hang on. But it's always polite and respectful and facts and data. And so that's what makes it so fun to go in there. If you have technical questions, I'm telling you, there's smarter people in there than me. That's weird. Often you can. I'm going to show you guys this. This is really weird. Screen share. Let me share this. I'm going to share. So this was the, oh yeah, look at all that gap at the end. I do not know how to shorten this. So this is the, sorry, this window is the The original recording, it's got all the separate tracks. I can fold these up and stuff. Is Dan still here? Yes, Dan is still here. Yay. When I look at this, I just realized there's a whole bunch. Oh, in this version, I can probably cut it off. I can get rid of this, actually last 12 minutes of crapola. Whoop. Nope. Let's go this way. I'll grab this side. Hopefully you guys are seeing that. What is that other recording over there to my right? Oh, that's a template. Why is a template file open? All right. There you go. That's interesting. We can argue and disagree, but it's always polite and respectful and facts and data. And so that's what makes it so fun to go in there. If you have technical questions, I'm telling you, there's smarter people in there than me. And often you can trick George from Tulsa into doing research for you, which is fantastic. If you want to join in the fun of the live show, head on over to podfeed.com/live on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic NosillaCastaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. All right. So when I very first started podcasting 100 years ago, Linda, New York Linda, pointed out to me that my show had dead silence for the last minute. And I didn't realize that when you do a recording and you slide stuff over and then you slide it back, it sort of leaves that as empty space at the end. So I've always looked for that, and it just happened in here. So save as, and this should be, now we're going to go into AIFF, right? AIFF, and this should be NC 2015 1206. All right. I think we should have a good file here. My scripts are not running that are supposed to move files over to my Drobo, but then again, nothing's working with my Drobo, so why would that be anything different? Steve and I spent so much time trying to get that darn Drobo to work. That's not it. NC audio, there we go. All right. Oh, security light. Yeah. Oh, let me move that too. Let me move that from here. So from here up to NC audio. Okay. Yes, I want to move it. All right, there you go. NosillaCast files, NC audio over here. Yeah, I got to run something to write that. All right. Well, I think I am ready. Okay, this is going to be pretty scary. Dorothy and I worked on the scripts. With any luck, I'm going to show you this. This is crazy. So let's see, because we've got 7 minutes. In 7 minutes, let me see if I have anything weird on screen. Nope, nothing scary. All right, so you're watching my screen. This is my my window with my audio files. My script should be moving all of these off to the Drobo, but they don't appear to be doing it. But I'm going to right-click on this. I'm going to say Services, and I'm going to go to Podcast Convert, Dorothy version. Oh, shoot. They're named the same name. Oh, shoot. Oh, that's not good. I changed one of them and made it run, do Chit Chat Across the Pond, but it didn't change the name here. That's what it did. Okay, I'm going to just cross my fingers and hope it's this one. So it is going to launch Auphonic, and Auphonic is unscriptable, so she can't have it run. Let's Chit Chat. Why did I grab Chit Chat? Oh, that's weird. Oh, maybe I still had that open in Auphonic. There we go. Okay. I better stop the script because that's not right. Oh, so maybe it's the top one is the good one. Oh, that's going to be hard to keep track of. Okay. Podcast Convert. And that should just open this. There it is. Okay. So now I've got the good one. Oh, I got to figure that out. Note to self. So I need to change the preset. Load preset to NosillaCast, and then I hit process files, and now Dorothy's script is running. You can see a little gear up here. You can see that thing running, and that's going to do a bunch of stuff. It's going to run finish Auphonic Leveler, and then it's going to find the file. It's going to open it in ID3 editor. It's going to add the ID3 tags, and it's going to FTP it up to my server. But Okay, figure out naming of services. Second one is NosillaCast. First is Chit Chat. Anyway, can't you tell from the finder? Oh, Dorothy's there. Oh, I looked to see if you're there. Yeah, no, when I right click on that, just run it. What's the worst that can happen? So I remember you said that a lesson for the student would be that I would take your script that you wrote for the NosillaCast and make one for Chit Chat Across the Pond. Well, I did, and I had a little bit of trouble with it, but I did create it and I got it to work, sort of. There's some things I had to do to be goofy. I had to do the drop a file in at the beginning thing instead of right clicking. But now they're named the same thing. When I right click and show Finder, oh, you're not looking at me. I'm looking at you as though you're excited to see this. Stop there. So yeah, when I right click on that, I don't know if you noticed there were several or two that were identical. So I can show what it looks like while this is running. What, did I put my hand too close to the camera? Steve says my hands are too big. It's FTPing, Dorothy. It's doing it. It's done. That is so scary. It FTP'd it up to my website. I think it's done. I think the show's done. So I'll have to ask Dorothy. So Dorothy, we need to figure out how to name them. They're named different things in the services, but since I did a duplicate of it, it looks the same in the services menu. So that should be a hint for some of the weirdness we've been having. All right. I hope it sounded good because it's already done and it's uploaded. And oh man, Dorothy. Oh yeah, it does look good. Never mind. It does have the picture. Okay, good. High five. High five. There we go. All right. I am going to call it. We're going to, let's see. I'm going to do last in, first out. We're going to say goodbye to the app people. All right, Donald, ship that app, would you? We want the app. We want the app, please. All right. Goodbye, app people. And Steve, say goodnight, Gracie. Oh, wait. If you say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
Yeah, they can't hear you. All right. Goodbye.